Well, hello. In this video, I am going to talk to you about setting up your conversion ads. There are two types of conversion ads you can run. You can run a conversion ad for leads, and you can run a conversion ads for purchase. It all depends on how you have your offer set up. Some people are going for sales, such as with a SLO or self-liquidating offer, meaning you want to offer something low ticket between $7 and $97, and if people buy it, then of course that helps offset your ad costs. Whereas other people may want to opt for leads to build their email list, where you're going to give someone something for free to collect their name and email, and then you could have an upsell offer on the back end after they accept your freebie. But there's only two ways to set this up. So I'm going to show you the two ways to set up your conversion ads, and then I will talk to you about the different types of conversion ads and the metrics that you can expect. So this is my ads manager, which looks just like any ads manager. Please be aware, Facebook is always making layout updates. So yours might not look exactly like this, but just remember the concepts and where to go to get to where you want to be. So with that, first things first, let's talk about the two different types of testing protocols for your ads. There is the dynamic creative protocol, which is a really good protocol, but it requires you to have more ad creatives. And then there is the single call to action protocol. So with the dynamic creative protocol, you can expect to spend about $25 a day for 5 days. You're going to have two sets of copy, one short and one that's medium to long. You're going to have two headlines and two call to actions, and then you're going to have 8 images and 2 videos. Now you can do this image to video ratio any way you want. You can do 5 and 5, 6 and 4, however you want to do that. But you're going to let this run for about 5 days. And the result of this will allow you to find the winning combination of copy, headline, call to action, image, and or video, and you can pull those out to then create a separate standalone ad with the copy that your audience has already told you by their responses that they like. So you'll get a winning combination of all of these when you do the dynamic protocol for about 5 days. And always you want to let your reach get to 1,000 before you make any changes. And when you make changes, you want to only change one element at a time so you can see the results of those changes. Whenever you make a change, you've got to let it run till the reach hits 1,000 again before you make any changes or updates. Now, it doesn't have to be 1,000 on the dot, right? Sometimes you can tell, and I'll show you how here in a little bit, whether or not you have a good ad, and you might get the 300 or 400, be like, yeah, no, this isn't working, and you can shut it down and then make some tweaks. The second type of protocol over here is where we have a single call to action. Now, this takes a little longer. It takes about 9 days instead of 5 days, but the money you're going to spend is roughly the same to get your winning combination of copy, image, and headline. But with the single call to action, you're going to create a single ad with 3 sets of copy, short, medium, and long, a single image, and a single headline. You're going to let that run for about 3 days, because at 15 dollars a day, you're going to get to 1,000 in about 3 days. Once you're there, you should have the winning copy. Again, I'll talk about metrics here in a moment. When you have the winning copy, you want to test the original image with a different image or video, 2 other different images or videos. So you can test the original image with another video and a single image. You can do 2 videos. You can just do 3 images, and you're going to leave your headline the same. Another 3 days, another $45. Now you're going to have your winning copy and your winning image, and you're going to test your original headline against 2 other headlines to see which one resonates most with your audience, and that will be your winner. So again, at the end of the day, you're going to spend about the same amount of money, but the goal is to find the winning combination of copy, image, headline, and in the case of dynamic protocol, call to action. So with that being said, let's talk about some of these metrics, because I want you to understand the numbers so that you can make it make sense. And I will include the link to not only the testing protocol, but also the numbers that I'm going to share with you now, so you understand the metrics for your ad. A lot of people get frustrated with their ads because they don't understand the numbers. So I'm going to run through these, and these are the industry standards, and this is what is exceeding the industry standard. So CPM is cost per million. So that's how much does Facebook charge you for your ad to reach 1 million people. And it should be $42 or less. Click-through rate. This is a representation of how well your ad creatives are connecting with your ideal client. You want this at 1%. If you get 2% or better, it's really, really good. Sales page conversion rate. So if you are working with a sales page, industry standard is 1 to 3%. So what does that mean? So for every 100 people that land on your sales page, you should get 1 to 3 sales, industry standards. Email open rates, 18 to 20% is good. Live webinar attendance, if you're doing a webinar, you can expect 10 to 20% of the people to attend. If it's an evergreen, you can expect the same thing. Inside of your webinar, if people are going to either book a call or buy something, you should expect a 10 to 20% conversion rate. So how does this work? So if you have 100 people that sign up for your webinar, you can expect 10 to 20 of them to attend. Of those 10 to 20 that attend, if you get a 10 to 20% conversion, you can expect 1 to 2 people to buy or book a call. So that's what that means when we talk about webinar sales or book calls. Your overall sales funnel rate should be about 1 to 3%. So that means for everybody that goes through your funnel, if it is a sales funnel, you can expect a 3% conversion on the back end, 1 to 3%. So that's 1 to 3 sales if 100 people go through your sales funnel. If it's a cold call to sales, so what this means is if you do get somebody on the phone, you should convert from 10 to 20%. So if you get 10 people on the phone with you, you should get 1 to 2 sales. If you are not getting 1 to 2 sales, then I suggest you get with the sales coach. I recommend Eric F. King. He is the compassionate closer, and he's the king of closing sales without feeling salesy. You got to be salesy, but you do it in a way that's more compassionate and it meets the needs of your clients, customers, or business partners. But more importantly, if you get someone on a call, every 10 calls, if you're not closing 1 to 2 of them, please get a coach. I recommend Eric F. King. I'll make sure to put his link in the comments of this video as well. And then cost for conversion phase 1, cost for conversion phase 2. So a lot of people ask, well, what's the difference between phase 1 and phase 2? So phase 1 is for cold audience coming to you and you are reaching them for the very first time. You can expect to spend anywhere from $3 to $8 for a lead, $3 to $8 for a lead. Cold conversion phase 2 is if you're retargeting people, you're going to expect to spend 5 to 12. So why does it cost more for phase 2 than it does for phase 1? Because the sale is a little harder. These people have already seen your stuff once and they didn't take the desired action. So you're going to have to be a little more creative in your ad copy, your image, and your headline to get them to finally take action. So because you're retargeting them, you're going to spend a little bit more to get that lead because you got to work a little harder since whatever you gave them first time around wasn't sexy enough for them to take you up on your offer. And then there's the cost for a booked call. So if you're running an ad and you're leading people to a page to schedule a call for you, you can expect to spend $250 or less to get someone to make a call with you. Your landing page conversion rate, this is how well your landing page converts. That means when someone clicks off Facebook to your ad and they get to your page, how many people are giving you their name, email, or phone number, email and or phone number. It should be 30 or more for every 100 people. If your landing page is not converting at 30%, then we need to make some adjustments. And then last but not least, from the conversion page, if someone goes, they get your freebie, they give you their information to get your freebie, and if the next page is them to book a call, schedule a consultation, or whatever, you can expect a 2 to 15% conversion. So going back to this landing page, so if 100 people land on your page, 30 of them need to give you their name and email. Of those 30, 2 to 15% of those 30 should book a call or consultation with you. So let me talk about these numbers, and I'm just going to speak speak from the perspective of landing pages because that's most of what most people do when they're running Facebook ads. So when I am running Facebook ads, if I am getting clicks, right, if my click-through rate is above 1% or above, but my landing page conversion rate is less than 30%, that tells me that my landing page is not sexy enough, or there's not congruency between what I'm telling people in my ad and what they're seeing on my landing page. So you need to go back and zhuzh up your landing page to get up to that 30%. If your click-through rate is less than 1%, then there's something wrong with the creatives. And in that case, you want to go back to the drawing board with your copy, image, and headline and call to action if you're doing dynamic creative, and choose different combinations. So let me go back to what that means. So again, if your click-through rate is less than 1%, or your CPM is over $42, you need to make some changes to your ad creative. So what I mean by that is, if you're doing this protocol, so let's just say your short copy got you to 30% conversion. Your short copy with the image number 2 kept you at 30% conversion. But then your short copy with image 2 and your headlines did not get you a 30% conversion. That tells you that people don't like your headline, and so that's why they're not taking action. Because when you think about how people see your ad in their news feed, the image stops to scroll, the headline gets their attention, and the copy gets them to take action. So if you knock it out the park, get your 30% with the copy and the image, but when you test headlines, you're not getting 30%, then test some more headlines. Conversely, if you're at the beginning and you're not getting 30%, don't pick a copy and start testing images. Keep changing your copy until you get to 30%. Once you pick your copy, if your images aren't giving you your 30%, keep the headline, keep the copy, and keep tweaking images until you get to 30%. Now, from a dynamic protocol perspective, you're going to tweak it similarly but different, because these are all going to be individual ads, which I'll show you here in a moment. Whereas with dynamic protocol, all of this is in one ad set. So I hope I've given you some good information on not only your ad metrics, but also the different testing protocols that are available. So now let me show you what this looks like. All right, so here we are back inside of our ads manager. So when it comes to creating a conversion ad, I'm just going to show you how that works. You can either do leads or sales. If you're going to build your email list, you do leads. If you're doing sales, you can do sales. However, the funny thing about Facebook is that you can actually do a sales ad and still optimize for just conversions. You see conversions at the top there, and then this one also says conversions. However, if you aren't selling anything, meaning you're not optimizing for purchase with your pixel, and I'll show you what that looks like in a minute. If you're not optimizing for purchase with your pixel, then don't do a sales ad, do a leads ad. So the majority of the people that I work with are doing leads ads, and we work up to sales ads. Now, if you have a upsell offer, so let's just say you got a freebie, and then from the freebie, you've got an upsell anywhere from $47 to $97. You can optimize for sales, because ultimately you want people to buy your upsell, and you'll still get leads, but you'll see the results differently. That's a different type of thing. It's also a higher level training that I do inside of my Facebook coaching at Facebook Ad Coaching, but I'll show you what that looks like as part of this video. And then if you want more coaching, we can have a conversation. All right, so we're going to go with leads because that here is the one most common. And continue. And again, I'm just showing you this for setup. We always do manual leads creation because we know better than Facebook how to set up our ads. So some of the things that you want to look out for at the campaign level: make sure campaign budget advantage is turned off. And when you get into the ad set, you know, I like to name my ad set and my ad the same thing. I also like to call out the audience and date them. I'll show you that in a little bit as well. So inside of this for leads, there are 2 ways that you can get leads. There are 3 ways with Messenger, but I don't do Messenger. I just do website and instant form. Website is where you want people to click off of Facebook to go to your website to enter their information. A lead form is where people are going to fill out a form on Facebook, and at the end of that form, form, you can have a link for them to click to actually go to your website. You've got to test both of these out to see which one works best with your audience. For me, this works best for me and my audience, sending them to a website, but I've also seen, which I'll show you an example of, how instant forms can also work well. So with that being said, you're going to pick your either one of these, and then when you get down to conversions, it's maximize number of lead conversions. So you don't want to, if you're going with, let's see, conversions, they're going to show your ads to be most likely to convert after sharing their contact information. What that means is they're most likely to take whatever that next step is. So after you give someone your freebie, if your next step is book a call, these people are most likely to book a call. If it's to buy a low ticket offer, $47.97, these people are most likely to do that. If you just go with this one is people most likely to share their contact information. So if you're building your email list, let's go with the leads. Now, granted, the conversion leads go well, but you're going to pay a premium price for that because that's right on the cusp of actually doing a sales ad. So we're going to go with number of leads. And I'm not going to get into the audience stuff. We've got videos on that. I'll make sure to put the links for that in this video. And placement. So when it comes to placement, just some rules for me. It might not be for you. I like to go with manual placements because with the Advantage Plus placements, Facebook is going to put my stuff where I don't want it. Like Audience Network, no thank you. When it comes to the news feeds, there's some things in the news feed, like I don't need Marketplace. If I'm not including any videos with my ads, I don't need that. When it comes to in-stream ads for videos, we don't do in-stream ads at all. At least I personally don't. So those are some of the things. Stories and reels. If I'm not doing Instagram stories or reels, and those are the long form videos, I think the size is 1080 by 1920. If I'm not doing those, then I don't want Facebook to try to show people that. So that's kind of what I do with the placements in here. I don't do automatic or Advantage Plus. I do manual. And then the other thing that I wanted to point out in here, of course, set your date. I always like to go with Monday, 8 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Set your budget for these type of ads. As I showed you earlier, you're either going to do $25 a day for 5 days or $15 a day over 3 days. And you need to do that to get decent results in a reasonable amount of time. You want to look at this over here, if I can get this to come up. Use this sparingly because this is just an estimate and Facebook doesn't always have it right. I'll show you what I mean by that here in a second. So don't get caught up. I've had clients that are like, Facebook says I'm not going to get any leads, and then they get a ton of leads. So again, don't get caught up with this. Make sure your audience size is decent. Again, I'm not going to go too much into that because we talked about it before. So those, dynamic creative. So if you are going to use dynamic creative, then you need to turn this button on. So that way, when you're putting the ad together, you're able to have, as we discussed, 2 sets of copy, 2 headlines, 2 call to actions, and then any combination of 10 images and videos. You can only do that if you have this button turned on. All right, so there is that for how you set this up. And then the ad creative is pretty much the same, except again, you'll be able to add more copy, more images, more videos, and then headlines. Now, you see this arrow here, it's got a red triangle. The reason why that arrow is there is because it is looking for a lead form, which I am not using. So I got to get to that area. Bear with me. I'm not using the form, so I got to find it on here. I get to scrolling too fast sometimes. All right, so I can either create my own form, which I'm not going to do, or I can use a template. The reason why it's looking for this, I should have done this over here, is because I have instant forms. If I change this to websites, once I go back over here, the red triangle is still saying it. So the red triangle is still there, but now I can turn this off. So I can do website as the destination, and I'll say none for the browser add-ons. So that's how you do it if you're using a website and not a lead page. All right, so example number 1, this is for a dynamic creative lead form ad that I'm running for one of my clients. So I'm going to go into the ad set first, and then I'll circle back. So let's go into the ad set, and I'll just show you how we have it set up. So again, this is a lead form, meaning the form on Facebook. He's got 4 images and 6 videos in here. And we've got his ad copy. We've got copy, and we've got headlines. And we went hard on this one because he's spending a little more money. So we're spending like $40 a day on this ad. So that's why there's 5 headlines and how many call to actions? 3 call to actions. And I think there's 5 sets of ad copy as well. So again, we're spending like $45 a day on this so we can have more copy. Now be wary of using more copy. So if you're just spending like $25 to $20 a day, you've got to that $25 is going to be distributed well with 2, 2, and 2. If you are spending more, then you can add variations because remember, Facebook is going to optimize the combination of these images. That's what dynamic creative means. Facebook is going to dynamically create different combinations of image, headline, and copy and call to action, right? So on one thing in your news feed, it might use the medium long copy with headline 2, call to action 1, image 2. Another one, it might use medium copy, headline 1, call to action 2, video 9. So Facebook is going to put all of this in a bag, shake it up, and spit it out. And that's what you get over here. So let's look at his lead form because he is using a lead form. So what this looks like, I'll scroll down here. So this is his lead form. So let me see if I can get it to come up just a smidge. All right, so this is what it looks like. And the images that are going to show on this lead form are going to be directly related to the image and video that he loaded up. So this is page 1 of the lead form. And then they'll enter their name, email, and city. And the thing about the lead form is that you cannot go from a lead form to find these people on Facebook, but you will get their name and email. And the email will be the email that they use most often with Facebook. And what I suggest to people who do use the lead form that in step 3, you have them confirm that their information is accurate. And you have to have a privacy policy. If you don't, I'll be sure to put a link with this video on how to create a quick and easy privacy policy because it is required for the lead form. So once they verify that the information is correct, then the very next thing they go to is great. Be a speaker at our event, visit website. And this then takes them to his landing page, which we have set up. So this is the lead form. As you can see, we tried different versions of the lead form because it's so important that you test every piece of this. So let me see if I can find this for us really quickly. It might not be in here. It isn't because it's attached to the lead form. All right, so when they get to visit website, that's when they go to his landing page and that's where they book a call. So the highlights that I want you to take from this is that you are using a lead form and you have to set up the lead form, which there's a video. Do I have a video? I do have a video on that. So I'll include that in the comments of this video on how to set up a lead form. If that's what you want to use, I'll include that there. We've got his call to actions. We've got his headlines, and then we've got his text options, and then we've got all of his images and video. So let's circle back and go to the ad set for this. So I can just show you again how we've got it set up. So we're going with conversions and we want to maximize the number of leads. We are using the lead form. That's why it says instant forms right there. Maximize the number of leads. And we've got dynamic creative turned on. Okay, one of the things that I need you to know and understand is how to view and analyze the results of your dynamic creative ad. When you are at the ad level for your ad set, for your dynamic creative ad, you want to go to breakdown and scroll down to dynamic creative, and you're going to look at the images, the text, the headline, and the call to action to see which ones are doing well. So let's start with images. And this is going to show me all the images and videos that I'm running for my client. And I'm going to organize these by highest to lowest in terms of results. So this image, this image, this image, this video, and this video, these two, video, image. So these images and videos are the ones that are giving me results. What I can do with this is I can create more images similar to this one, since it by far is the winner. And then I can swap out the ones that aren't performing with images that are similar to that one, or I can swap some videos out. Like, this gives you an opportunity to see what's working, what's not working, and make adjustments. That's it. Or I could pull this image out and make it its own standalone ad by itself. So I can create a new dynamic creative, creating more of the images and videos that are working to replace the ones that are not working. That's one option. Or I can pull out the winner and create it as a separate standalone ad. If I want to do that, then I would also want to look at, going back down to dynamic creative, this time look at the text. So this tells me this text is the winning text. And actually all three of these are really good. So I can pick one or all three of these. The next breakdown that I want to look at is the headline. Again, these two are doing really, really well. So I've got an image that's outperforming all of them, heads and shoulders. I got 3 sets of copies that are doing well. And I've got 2 of my 5 headlines that are doing well. I think it's 5, 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, 2 of my 5 headlines that are doing really well. And then the last thing to check is our call to action, because I believe we have 3 of those. And let's see which ones are the winners. And it looks like by far the apply now and the sign up are the 2 winning calls to actions. So that's one of the things you can do with dynamic creative, is to find the winning elements of your dynamic creative and then use that to create a separate standalone ad and see if it outperforms the dynamic creative, right? So right now with this ad, we're coming in at like a 39% opt-in and we're getting leads for $5 and some change. If I pull out all the ones that I think are winners and I create a separate standalone ad just for that, I can do that, and then I can do an A/B split test to see if those standalone ads perform better than this. But the thing about the dynamic creative, just so you know, is that we do the dynamic creative, so then Facebook can do all of that fishing around to find out what the optimal one is, and then it shows the winning combination for us. But again, you can test it to see if Facebook is on the money or not. So that is what you need to know about how to test out and see the data for your dynamic creative ad. So the next option is the option that is testing one element at a time. First testing copy, then testing image, then testing headline. So when you're testing one element at a time, here's an example of me testing one element at a time. So here's copy 1, image 1, headline 1. Copy 2, image 1, headline 1. And copy 3. Do I have a copy 3, image 1, headline 1? Yeah, here it is. Copy 3. Nope, I got image 3. Let's see. Copy 3, image 1, headline 1. So as you can see, I did a lot of copies because I went to copy 6. But as you can see, so this is my nomenclature, so I know what's going on. So let me set this to maximum, and then we can see what the winner was. And then we'll go with results. All right, so for this one, the winner was copy 1, image 1, headline 1, head over shoulders. 588 people gave me their email for that. But I wouldn't have known this if I hadn't tested copy 3, image 1, headline 2, wasn't even close. Copy 3, image 3, headline 2. This is a different report, I believe. Oh no, it's a different audience. Okay. So as I'm going through here, I have to test different versions. Again, here's copy 5, image 4, headline 3. So I went through a lot of testing before I found the goose that laid the golden egg. And sometimes you'll find out the original one is the winner, but you have to test it to make sure. Now, the one thing you need to remember from all of this is when you do find your winner, that's when you can start testing different audiences. So let me hover over some of these. So this one, if I hover, so this one is a US audience, US Canada audience only. That's what no I/UK means, no Ireland or UK. This one is where I targeted Europe. This one is strictly the Americans. Let me see. This one is an audience of entrepreneurs who are interested in MLMs. So once you have your winning ad, that's when you can test different audiences, because you want to have 3 to 5 audiences that produce good results from you, because there's this thing called audience fatigue. So sometimes you have to switch them up. So start testing audiences, but only test audiences once you have your winning combination of copy, image, headline, and call to action. All right. So we already talked about metrics. metrics. So let me show you what this looks like. Let's see here. So for this one right here, remember I said your opt-in page needs to convert at 30% or better. I don't need to do a calculator. I know this is over 50%. Or if we go back to my client's account and we look at his ad for Dynamic Creative, the one that's the winner, as you can see, we did a lot of testing with his ad as well. Back from April all the way up, this is our winner. And the testing is different, right? Depending on how you do it. So this one, he's getting 5 leads for $5.10. So I'm going to jump back over here to the metrics. So it says for leads, landing page conversion, 30%. A lead form is the same as a landing page, right? And then for in his case, then it is the booked call. So he's getting this 30%. From the 30%, then he'll get this metric here for the booked call. So let's just look at his percentages. And for this one, I do need a calculator. So he's got 90 out of 299. So 90 divided by, was it 299 or 229? 229. 229. So he's got a 39% opt-in rate. So not only is this page doing well, but he's also getting a good cost per lead, because going back to the metrics again, just so I can show you how this all ties together. So conversion phase 1, $3 to $8. He's getting his leads for $5.10. So that is how all of this flows together and how all of this works to make it make sense. Now there's one last caveat, and I'll be sure to put this link in there, is the headline. So when you're setting up your ad, what I like to do is I put all of my copy, image, and headline, I put it all in a Word document, because I like to test it in Grammarly, and then I like to test my headlines. So I'm just going to copy this one just to show you what I do to make sure I got good copy. And I'm going to head over here and pull up Grammarly. And Grammarly's changed over the years, so you may or may not see what I see, but that's okay. All right, and I'm going to select all, and I'm going to paste. And this will give me a score over here. So this is a horrible score, 79. I go for 98% or better. So some of the things it doesn't like is free 5 days. So if I change this to 5-day workshop, that will give me a boost. Look, I went from 79 to 84. There's premium suggestions. Of course, this costs money. Correctness, it says punctuation, conventions. Okay, so let's take out some other stuff. I like to go with 98% or better, and I would say they are. Now, when I actually put this in my copy, I'm going to leave it as it was, but I know that Grammarly can get weird, so I take it out just to see if we can get it to where I want it to be. We're at 86. Now that's the easy. Okay, so sometimes it doesn't like conjunctions. That is the, okay, so let's put that, see if it likes that better. Yep. The magic happens when you put it together in a message that creates connection. So I won't keep going through this. You get the gist of what I'm doing, right? So we went from a 79 to an 82 with just making these minor suggestions. And then if I take this out, with Facebook ads. I don't know why it doesn't like that capitalized, but that's okay. Now we're at 95%. I could say click here to join our, or click below. So instead of here, I'll say below, but it doesn't matter. You get where I'm going with that. All right. The other thing that I do is I use the headline analyzer to find headlines that connect. You want your headlines to be, in my opinion, 40% or better. So let me copy this one and head over to the headline analyzer. I will make sure I put this link in the comments of this video and paste it in there. And then submit for analysis. It's coming in at 33%. Again, I do like to go 40% or better, but 33% ain't half bad, because Most professional copywriters are between 30 to 40%. So don't get hung up on this, because you can fall out in the rabbit hole and look up and it'll be 3 days later and you're still playing around with your headline. So again, if you can get 30 to 40%, that's good. If you get greater than 40% or greater, that's excellent, because then you're better than most professional copywriters. So let's see if I take that punctuation out. So at 33%, and this changes over time. These are old headlines that I used once upon a time. As you can see, it came in at 44% when I did this. Again, this is like 2 years old. So let me just look. Let's not do that. Let's just grab one from my Winnie ad. So let's go into my client's ad set and then go to his ad and let's grab a headline. Since we know these are converting at almost 40%. All right, so let me copy this. Head over to the analyzer, close that, drop this in here, submit, and boom, there you have it, coming in at 66%. All right, so that is everything that you need to know to create highly successful conversion ads. So just to recap from this video, pick your testing protocol. Are you going to do the dynamic creative, or are you going to do the single call to action? Once you pick your protocol and you are in your ads manager, decide, I'm going to go back to the campaign level here, decide if you are going to use leads or sales. And then once you decide if you do leads or sales, then everything else flows the way we did it. I won't go through that again. And then I also, again, talk to you about the metrics, which is in the link to this video for the numbers to know in your Facebook ads. And then there was, I wanted to talk to you about sales. So in the event that you decide that you want to do a sales ad, meaning you want to sell something, some things you need to know are in regards to your Facebook pixel. Your Facebook pixel needs to be optimized for purchase, and you need to put the value in there of the purchase. So if you do sales, this whole set of code right here, this must be included. And you can get this code. Actually, you can't. Facebook is weird. If you get your pixel code, this is what you're going to get if you take it from Facebook. You have to add each step to the pixel code, like complete registration. I added that as a line. Initiate checkout. That's a line. Page view purchase. So you've got to input this code into Facebook if you do a sales ad. Again, this is some higher level stuff, but I'm just giving it to you as an FYI so you have this information. So now let me go back into pocket offers. That's what we call. So if you're running an ad for sales, testing is similar but different, because you're actually wanting people to buy. So you're going to actually spend more money getting to the buyers. But once you get there, your money is going to increase exponentially. So stage one, when you're testing paid offers to an ad, you can expect to only recoup about 10 to 20% of your ad cost. So if you spend $100, only expect to get $10 to $20 back. Make an adjustment. Make one adjustment and test that. If you're still only getting $10 to $20 back, make another adjustment. You want to keep making adjustments as long as you are staying at this 10 to 20% range. Once you get above the 20%, then you've got 50%. So now you're still going to make adjustments. You're going to keep all the adjustments that you made to get to the 20%. You're going to make different adjustments to get you to the 50%. Once you get to 50%, you're going to make different adjustments till you get to the break-even point. So at 50%, if you spend $100, you should get 50 back. When you break even, when you spend 100, you should get 100. And you're going to tweak something different. So what you tweaked at the 10 to 20%, you're going to leave alone and tweak something different to get you to 50%. When you get to 50%, you're going to leave those items that you adjusted alone, and you're going to make different tweaks to get to break even. And then once you get into profitability, all of your adjustments are there, your ad is optimized, and you are making money, meaning that your ad is paying for itself and it's putting a little bit of money in your pocket. Now, that's not to say that you may come out the gate with a winner and you bypass all of these steps and go straight to profitable. And if you do, kudos to you. That's amazing. And I would love to celebrate your success. So please post it inside of my Facebook group. But more than likely, you're going to go through these 4 stages. And then I just want to set realistic expectations. You will have to track and test to keep outperforming yourself. You can plan on spending $500 without any expectations to start getting traffic to your pages to really collect data. You need to get at least 100 views to your page before you make any tweaks or adjustments. So before, when I was talking about Facebook ads and we were looking at the metrics, I said, let me close this out. I said you want your reach to get to 1,000 before you make adjustments. When you're looking at pocket offers, anything from $7 to $97, you need to get 100 views to your actual landing page before you make any adjustments. So as we're here, again, you need 100 people to see your actual sales page before you start making tweaks and adjustments. And you can spend about $500 without any expectations. Again, this is another higher level type of training, but if you are doing sales offers, I wanted to make sure I put this in here for you. And if you want my help, guidance, and assistance to create successful sales offers, I'd be more than happy to have that conversation with you. The link is in the comments of this video. That is it for Facebook ads for conversion with leads and or sales. I hope this is useful. Please keep me posted of your results. Share them with me inside of the Facebook group. You can even put a post on your page and tag me in it. I would love to celebrate with you. Thank you again. I'm looking forward to cheering you on and seeing your success.